I welcome back everyone. In the previous classes, we have discussed some of the blocks for the e-commerce architecture framework, isn't it? So in the first class, we have seen these three blocks, and in the last class, we have seen security and encryption technology and online payment infrastructure. So today in this class, we are going to see the remaining two, that is business service infrastructure and legal and public policy framework. Okay, first let us see business service infrastructure. This block, that is business service infrastructure, includes the directories and catalogs. For any business, these are essential for identifying and locating the business, okay, which is going to actually meet the customer requirements. If we say any business, the directories and catalogs are very important to meet the customer requirements. The search engines and directory service providers such as Alta Vista, Google, Yahoo and InfoSeek are identified and capitalized on the need by providing the service. So these are the examples for the business service infrastructure which is satisfying the customer requirements based on these two essentials, that is directories and catalogs. Actually, search engines are textual databases of web pages that are usually assembled automatically by the machines. If we consider any search engines which is going to act based on the text, because the database is going to have the textual information. Since these search engines can be classified into two categories. The first one, the search engines, those who compile their own searchable databases about the information available on the internet. This is the first category where if the user is typing any text for searching, then the engine is going to search its own database for the information which is required by the user. Whereas the another type is the search engines which search the databases of multiple search engines of the former type and then recognize the results based on the metadata and guiding rules maintained by them. Okay. One type of search engine is going to access or going to search the database which is its own database. Okay. Another type of search engine is going to search from multiple search engines for the required information. So these are the two types of search engines can be classified. Actually, these search engines are compiling their databases by employing robots. There is no any human being to search and to give the required information to the users. Instead, the search engines are using robots for the database searching and also to crawl through the web space. Okay. This search engine maintains a database that contains correspondence between text terms and document URLs. Okay. Document URL in the sense it is nothing but the location where actually the content is placed. But now the document is going to be fetched based on the keywords which is typed by the user. For example, if we type like this, that is types of e-business in the search engine, then the search engine will take some keywords from the typed text. That is types e-business likewise. Okay. And then the search engine will search for a content based on the keywords which is given by the user. There might be plenty of information available on the database, but among from the availability, the engine is going to provide some of the relevant content to the users on the web page. The content location is called URL. The content which is in the document is called text. Okay. For these things, the search engine is going to maintain a database. This is very important point which should be remembered, that is, whenever we search for something, the search engine is not searching the entire web. Instead, the portion which the user wants will be searched by the search engine. Okay. And also the search engine returns the relevant URL for the keywords or search terms entered by the users. As I told you already, the search engine returns the URL which is relevant to the users entered keywords. Okay. For a single search, there might be millions of web pages on the internet. But among from all those millions of pages, only thousands of URLs will be displayed which is related to the text which is given by the user. Okay. For that, the URL should be ranked amongst the top few for the relevant terms and keywords. If there is millions of web pages which is related to the given text, from that, if thousands of URL should be displayed, it should be ranked for the top. Okay. Generally, you might have seen while you search something on the internet, if you type any text for search, it may show you some number of URL links, isn't it? In the first page, there will be minimum 10 to 15 links. If you move to second page, again it may have 10 to 15 links. Likewise, for a single search, the URLs may be displayed nearly 10 to 20 pages. But maximum the user may be satisfied within 3 or 4 pages itself. Okay. If all the pages are having nearly thousands of URLs, among from those thousands of URLs, the top ranked URLs will be displayed in the first page. Okay. So likewise, the URL should be ranked for the top display. The ranking methodology will be different from one search engine to another search engine. To successfully locate the relevant information, a hierarchical directory structure that classifies websites which is based on the content in various categories and subcategories and further granularity of the same has been alternatively used. Granularity means nothing but the quality of the content. So, category, subcategory and quality is maintained and alternatively used for the successful location of the relevant information. And the next block is public policy and legal infrastructure. Okay. For the internet access, the legal infrastructure is must. And also there should be public policy for the authentication and secrecy of the content. So it is very, very important while we access on the internet. As companies use the World Wide Web for brand building and also for promoting sales of products, offering merchandise for sale, conducting auctions, or for providing product information, all these are operating in a global environment. All the business are now like to reach World Wide Web, isn't it? If a business is operating in a global environment, then it needs public policy and legal infrastructure. To provide the protection of transactions which is conducted over the network, the access to network infrastructure and a legal framework play an important role in the viability and the growth of electronic commerce. So these two are very, very important, that is network infrastructure and legal framework for providing the protection of transactions. And the telecommunication infrastructure which is designed for voice data can carry data traffic only to a limited extent, not to the unlimited extent. It can carry the data traffic only to the limited extent. And also the cost for data connections may be high even for the local access. If the local access itself may have high cost, then what about universal access? It is also important to provide an affordable cost for the growth of digital economy and electronic market. To provide the communication infrastructure development throughout the world, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, that is OECD, have been putting together several initiatives and policy guidelines. So this organization is putting together several initiatives and policy guidelines to provide communication infrastructure development all over the world. Many groups were provided many things for internet service providers, but the Indian government laid out a liberal licensing policy for internet service providers in January 1998. They introduced this in the year 1998, but within 9 months, more than 175 licenses were granted. In the digital economy, for the e-commerce transaction, the actual transaction is placed between processes which is operated by various transacting parties. Anyway, the information which is transferred between two transacting parties should be provided with security and encryption technology to ensure that the secrecy and integrity of the data. Okay. For the secrecy and integrity of data, the transaction which is conducted on behalf of two acclaimed parties should be given with an authentication infrastructure. These authentication can be provided by a third party which certifies the identity of the transacting parties. Authentication is nothing but providing the security for the data which is transacted between two parties, which should not be leaked to others. And to provide a legal framework for electronic commerce transactions, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted a model law on electronic commerce in 1997. So this law has some regulations. The Information Technology Act 2000, which is based on the model law, frames the legal framework of electronic commerce in India. The IT Act 2000 holds the office of the Controller of Certification Authorities responsible for issuing licenses to and for regulating the certification authorities in India. Authentication should be provided by the proper person who are the third party between two transaction parties, isn't it? They have to regulate the certification authorities and also they have to issue the license to the proper peoples. For that, the IT Act 2000 holds the office, that is Controller of Certification Authorities, which is responsible for this purpose in India. Actually, the Act defines the authentication and legal protection of the electronic records, legal recognition of digital signatures, use of electronic records and digital signature in government agencies, and the retention of records in electronic form. So all these things are used for the authentication and also for the legal protection, which is defined by the Act. And also to authenticate people, a public key infrastructure operated by legal establishment which is approved by a certification authority is required. Okay, we have studied already about the key for the encryption, private key, public key, all these things. So these public key infrastructure is required to authenticate the people. Finally, we have discussed many elements which is involved in the e-commerce architecture framework which are in operation but are still evolving with the advances in the technology and business requirements. The framework is not stopped what we have discussed, but still it is in evolving with the advances according to the technology and business requirements. As a result, e-commerce applications for conducting business to consumer and business to business transactions have proliferated the internet. Proliferated means increasing rapidly in number. Okay. And also these businesses have adopted various business models. Some are transplanted from the traditional world, which also we have discussed in the beginning itself, and also others born on the internet itself. So far we have discussed some number of blocks which are involved in the e-commerce framework architecture. With this class, we have finished all the essential blocks which are involved in the e-commerce framework architecture. I'll meet you next class. Thank you.